Hello everybody, my name is Miranda Goddard and my speech is mandatory military service. If you could choose between free college or expensive college, which would you choose? Free, right? According to the World Atlas, 26 countries already have mandatory military service. Some of these countries you are familiar with. They include Norway, Greece, Egypt, Brazil, and Israel. The mandatory military service would be just like you went into the United States Reserves. What this means is that your college would be completely paid for. You would have no debt with no strings attached. You would get free food, clothing, housing, medical, and dental. You would also get to meet people from all over the world. The U.S. News article stated, and I quote, "They would meet people unlike themselves, members of other classes and ethnic groups with different aspirations," end of quote. During your time in the mandatory military service, you would just be allowed on USA territory. What this means is that you would not go overseas for wars or battles or anything like that. You would just stay on the bases on USA territory. So let me put it into better perspective for you. Both men and women would go into the mandatory military service right after high school. It doesn't matter what age you are, you would go in just right after. All you would have to do is 2 years of the mandatory military service. So let me put this on a personal level for you. I did 2 years worth of junior ROTC in high school. During this time, I learned discipline, respect, and leadership. After 1 year being in the program, I became a teacher's assistant. What this meant is that I had 200 recruits underneath my belt. When they all came into the program, they were troublemakers, they got into fights, and the school forced them into this junior ROTC program to help them. In that year that I became the teacher's assistant, I saw all of their grades come up, and I watched all of them become better people for themselves and for others. When I graduated high school, all 200 of them thanked me for what I did. My sister is the United States Marine drill instructor. She is also the female chief drill instructor at receiving. What this means is that she gets to see all of the female recruits that come in. She oversees every single one of them. So she gets to learn them on a personal level and to watch them grow. She gets to help them grow. She gets to help them decide what they want to be for the rest of their lives. After the 2 years that you are in the mandatory military service, after the 2, you can decide on whether you want to re-enlist or get out. If you decide to re-enlist, you would sign a contract like we do today for 4 years. But if you sign the contract, you will not be allowed on USA territory. What this means is that you would go overseas and you are not allowed in the USA territory. If, however, you want to be in the USA territory, you would have to become a drill instructor like my sister, or you would have to become an officer. If you decide that you want to stay, that if you want to get out, then you can leave and there's no strings attached. Now, out of 26, if 26 countries have done this, how come the USA cannot do this? The USA is supposed to be number 1, but yet, as soon as kids get out of high school, they're unemployed. They don't know anything about the world. They don't know what they want to be. And so we just spend so much money on college. However, with the mandatory military service, as soon as we get out, we would know exactly what we wanted to be. Because in those 2 years that we served, we would be able to change our majors, become more mature, and we would also know about the real world. Connect Us says that in Israel, the service promotes national unity. What this means is that before mandatory military service, Israel was divided between men and women and religion. Now that we have mandatory military service, everybody knows each other's religion and they respect each other. If 26 countries have succeeded at this, I want to know, why can't we? Why can the USA not succeed at this? So, for my conclusion, both men and women would join the armed forces. When I say armed forces, I don't just mean Army or Marines. You can choose any single one that you want to go into after high school. That is your choice. This would provide useful skills like how the world works before you go out into it. People will learn social skills, discipline, and respect. People would know how to communicate more effectively with each other. I hope one day we will achieve mandatory military service.